It's the starting five Friday morning. We are recording this. I think there's going to be a noticeable difference between our Monday recordings and our Friday recordings, just in mood. As you can see, Carter's in a Ray Allen Bucks jersey, and I'm drinking a Coke Zero, so I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That definitely caught me off guard when Greg pulled up with a Coke Zero at 9 a.m. It's definitely got some serial killer vibes to it, but I know he's a good person. So good morning to you, Gregory. Happy Friday. Glad to be here.
Yeah, the 8 a.m. Coke Zero with the freshly shaven face is a little serial killery. I didn't think about that, but here we are. Let's get right into it. We're going to start with the man of the week, I would say, J. Cole. Album, The Offseason, dropped this morning. I'm about halfway through. He made waves with the LA Leakers freestyle, which is maybe a Hall of Fame freestyle, in my opinion. Listen to that if you haven't heard that. He's also made headlines because he has signed a deal with Patriots BBC, a basketball team in Rwanda in the Basketball Africa League. J. Cole has always been a hooper. He's always talked about his hooping. He's always expressed that this is a dream. And now the same week that he drops an album, he is going to play professional basketball. Carter, how should we feel about this?
Okay, so there's two parts to that question. So let me start with the music part. First of all, this man, Jermaine Cole, is spitting. I haven't got all the way through yet, but my man is definitely in his JanSport bag because, you know, it's a throwback to the old school backpacks, but he's definitely in his bag and spitting some bars. But I will say this, the freestyle, if that was on the album, would be the best song on the album, I think. I still got a couple more songs to go, but that freestyle was different. Like, he was really going off on that. So I think you're right to say that that's a top 5 freestyle maybe. But also, this is where me and J. Cole aren't on the same page. I got a lot of friends, right, who are, you know, basketball players looking for opportunities to play somewhere and do things. And it just doesn't sit right with me that, like, they're out here struggling for opportunities and this team signing J. Cole. Like, I know for a fact some of my boys are better basketball players than J. Cole. Better rappers? No. Better hoopers? Yes. Do I see why this team signed J. Cole? Yes. He's making waves. They're going to sell out that stadium for this game. And who knows? I mean, J. Cole can actually hoop, so he might get some buckets. But it just doesn't sit right with me because, like, I got, like, people I know that are trying to, like, get their foot in the door overseas and stuff like that. And I know for a fact that they can out-hoop J. Cole.
Yeah, so I want to preface my take on this by saying I love J. Cole. He is my favorite rapper. He is. I saw him in Kalamazoo at the State Theater. You're upset that I'm saying I like J. Cole more than Drake, but
no, I didn't let J. Cole was number one for you. I'm just more disappointed in myself that as a friend I didn't know that was your number one.
Yeah, so I've had ups and downs with J. Cole, but like mixtape warm up J. Cole, like to me that's one of the greatest projects ever.
Friday Night Lights.
As far as just writing, which is like what I love from lyricists and rap, like he's the best with a pen in the world. And I think this album, from what I've heard so far, is kind of it gives me those vibes. It's back to the spit in J. Cole that I want to see. I agree the freestyle is definitely the best that I've heard, but it was going to be the best that we were going to hear because that's just how good that freestyle was. The thing with J. Cole, please don't kill me for this, anybody, but what is different about J. Cole going to play basketball right now than fucking Jake Paul fighting? What's different about it? Is there anything different about that? And people are killing Jake Paul because, like, oh, that's just what money can do. Like, that's what fame can do.
It's just probably Jake Paul's more annoying to people.
Yeah, Jake Paul's a douchebag. But, like, why is J. Cole not getting this opportunity just because he's a famous rapper?
Yes, that's literally the only reason.
And, like, the people asked me, they hit me up because the Pistons, quote unquote, signed him. Remember back in whatever the preseason was, the practice squad. It's like, are you excited? Isn't this going to be great? I'm like, fucking no.
Right.
Like, I don't want a rapper.
Jake Cole was signing Jello Ball. Like, we're just like, I was like, are we a franchise or no?
And look, it's cool for J. Cole. Like, I don't mean that as disrespect because I actually am not, like, when I compare that to Jake Paul, I think what Jake Paul's doing, like, good for him. I think he's stupid and I don't like him, but like he's doing what he wants to do in a great way and making headlines. Like, good for J. Cole. He's accomplishing a dream, but is it stupid to me that he's playing professional basketball the same week he dropped an album? Yes, it is.
Facts. Can't wait to find that offshore book account where I can hammer the J. Cole under on points total.
Yeah, not going to be good. The only other basketball player from America that is on his team is George Blakeney, who played at UNC Pembroke, a Division II school. He averaged 10 and 6 in his junior year at UNC Pembroke. So if that's anything to go off, I just don't think that team's very good, and I don't think J. Cole is going to be one of the better players on the team either.
We're on the same page with that one.
We'll have to see. All right, moving to the NBA, some beef, some NBA beef this week. Bradley Beal and Kent Bazemore firing shots at each other. This started with Kent Bazemore basically giving a little love to Steph Curry by slandering Bradley Beal in a press conference. He said, Curry, 49 points in 29 minutes. Wow. And we got guys hurting their hamstrings to try and keep up. About the scoring race. You know, what I love about this is that Curry and Beal both care about this. That's cool to me.
That is cool.
They both want this scoring title. Beal heard the quote and basically went on a Twitter rampage. Started out by saying, should I let him live? 5 minutes later, he did not let him live. He comes at him with a string of tweets, basically saying, you bum, like, don't talk to me. I've never worried about anyone but myself. I stay in my lane is how it ended. Carter, your thoughts? What do we make of this?
To reference my favorite rapper, bench players talking like starters. I hate it. Like, I get what Bazemore is like doing. Like, of course he's gonna put on for his teammate. Like, that's his man. He's had a couple years playing with Curry, but like for him to like take that shot, it's like very petty. And like, if you're Kent Bazemore, you can't take that shot because it's like you're Kent Bazemore. Like, Kent Bazemore will be playing with J. Cole in a couple years. Like, he can't take that shot. So I respect Beal for just saying something about it and like just addressing the beef straight up. And I think the nastiest part about this is when people came to Bazemore after the game, like, did you see Bradley Beal's tweets and his comments? He goes, I don't know. My loyalty is to Stephen Curry. I was like, okay, well, I'm sick loyalty. What is this, Game of Thrones? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, that's some very odd thing to say. So I wasn't rolling with that. So I'm Team Beal on this. I'm hoping you are too. Please don't tell me you're Team Bazemore.
Okay, this is where we differ, Carter.
Here we go.
Because
go.
Here's the thing. You should never punch down. Who am I? Who are we to complain when someone punches up? Who are we to tell Kent Bazemore he can't target Bradley Beal and try to get his attention and chirp him? He's an instigator. Me personally, I'm a guy who likes to punch up. I like to be a little spiteful, a little petty, a little stir things up. Bradley Beal should not be responding to Kent Bazemore. Like, that's just a bad look. There's no way Bradley Beal was going to come out of this looking in the right to me, other than just like keeping his head down and dropping 60 the next game he plays. I think it's stupid that Bradley Beal literally gave him like 6 tweets in a row and then ended it by saying, but I stay in my lane. No, you don't. Like, you're getting into the mix right now by responding to these tweets. The only problem I have with Bazemore is that I don't like Kent Bazemore. Like, I don't mind what he's doing here, but this is the guy who got crossed by James Harden in 2019, went to the Notes app, and then typed out a 3-paragraph essay saying that I'm alive and well, signed Padlock Bays. Dude is corny. I don't like it, but I don't mind that he's fighting up because he's Kent Bazemore. What else is he supposed to do? Bradley Beal should have just shut his mouth and dropped 60.
I respect it, but at the same time, it's like, I really think Bradley Beal thought to himself, he was like, you know what? Like, I could let this go, but also like, why the fuck is Kent Bazemore talking? Who brought this guy? Like, he was probably just pissed. He's in the 10th seed. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's hurt. So he's got time on his hands. He's like, who the fuck is this guy? So
yeah, I mean, it's like my bachelor party, right? Where I'm Kent Bazemore in this role. Like, we were setting up the little 5-on-5 hoop game, and the night before, we got a couple drinks in us. I'm gonna stir some shit up. Like, I'm gonna chirp a couple guys that played college basketball. I'm gonna tell them that this is what's up. We can hang with you. We're about to beat you. And then, the next day, Z shut his mouth and hit about 6 step-in NBA threes in the win.
Really was Durant at Rucker.
Yeah, it just was what it is. And you can chirp back a little bit, but at the end of the day, you got to back it up. That's what I want to see Beal do. I want to see him go on the court. I want to see him drop 50+. I want to see him win the scoring title. And I guess we'll see what happens. I'm sure this won't be the last time we hear from Padlock Bays on any sort of chippy subject in the NBA.
Easy ass padlock, no code, no keys. Got to pull down and it's unlocked.
Okay, let's move on to Bradley Beal's teammate, Russell Westbrook. Again, making headlines this week by setting the NBA record for triple doubles. A very impressive accomplishment. I am a notorious Russell Westbrook hater, and I am here to just sing his praises. I'm going to sound the alarm, and I'm going to say this is actually a really impressive thing that Russell Westbrook has done. And while I don't like him, congratulations, Russell Westbrook, because he is undoubtedly an NBA Hall of Famer and an all-time great.
Siri, has hell frozen over?
It hasn't.
I mean, wow, we're getting Russell Westbrook praises from Greg Waddell. This Friday morning energy is hitting a little different.
I've come to terms with a couple things, Cart, because you chirped me on the last episode of this for my awful Ricky Rubio would be fine and they don't need Chris Paul takes. Like, I've always hated Chris Paul. I've always hated Russell Westbrook, and I'm coming to appreciate both of them right now, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just really what it boils down to, is just appreciating like greatness. Because like the fact that he broke this triple-double record, like there was probably thoughts when this first started, like that record would never be broken. And like Russ is still going too. Like this is gonna grow. Like I don't know if anyone is ever going to break, Westbrook's record when it's all said and done, because literally, despite what people say about him down the stretch, does he make some bad decisions? Does sometimes he play a little too much hero ball and things like that and take bad shots? Yeah, he might do that. But he also plays every single game like it's game 7 of the NBA Finals. Like he just plays extremely hard. And, credit to him this year as well. I think he's done a great job of kind of reeling it back in and, making less bad decisions and making less errors down the stretch. So it's just a case of let's just stop the nitpicking and the hate and just appreciate the greatness that is Westbrook. Like he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Yeah, he's a singularly like one of a kind all-time great. And yes. I'm not here to deny that anymore. I think Russ is kind of corny. I think that's part of my hate for him is like I think part of it is just it comes across as a shtick, even if it's not a shtick, of like the super intense just guy that's going to do everything way to the max over the top at all times. But the part of the reason I'm saying I appreciate him is that I looked up numbers to try to slander him as he got this accomplishment. And I looked up to see like when he gets a triple double, does his team win or do they lose? And I fully thought the numbers would back up like, oh, he just puts up empty stats and the team loses more often when that happens. No. Russell Westbrook career winning percentage is 60% of the games that he plays in. When he posts a triple double in the 182 games, 75% winning percentage. In fact, the last 3 seasons, they are 35-5 when he posts a triple double. It's crazy.
You went on Basketball Reference trying to choose violence, and the light was shed on you, wasn't it?
I'm a stats man, and when stats say something's good, they're good. I give him my respect and my love, which is a rarity. So good job, Russ. I hope
Russ. You still can't dress for shit, but good job.
Let's move on to another player who is almost as polarizing as Russell Westbrook, the one and only Foster Loyer.
All right, I'm out of here.
Foster Loyer, Michigan State Spartan, no longer. Davidson Wildcat, new commit. Carter, good spot for Foster?
Hey, the final Infinity Stone of the Clarkston pack is finally in place. I got that Fife rolled up, I got that Kithier rolled up, and I got that Loyer pack all rolled up now into one Clarkson pack, and it's still hitting. Best of luck to all those guys on their new journey. They're no longer a part of my team, and I will no longer comment on them as basketball players. They are not my issue anymore.
So is Foster Loyer the second Steph Curry, or is Steph Curry the first Foster Loyer?
You're not funny. Do you know that?
I want to know. I mean,
I'm not.
okay. In all
I think you've
seriousness,
actually gone on the record and saying that Lawyer's going to average like 15 points this year. Was that not you?
I think he's going to be good. That's what I'm saying. In all seriousness, I think this is a really good landing spot for Foster Loyer. I think it's a level that his size and athleticism limitations won't necessarily kill him at. I think you've seen guys in that league that aren't, NBA talents go succeed and have great seasons. I think he is going to play for a great offensive coach. I think he's going to play in a great system. I think he's going to have the ball in his hands. And I think you're going to see some of the Foster magic you saw in high school, 20, 30-point games every now and then.
Well, I think that the first thing we need to say is to any Davidson listeners that we have out there, he ain't killing Grady. All right. So best of luck to y'all.
What do you honestly expect for Foster Loyer averages at Davidson?
Like 7 and 5.
Do you think he starts with those numbers?
I gotta look. To be honest with you, I'd have to look at Davidson's roster. I feel like they lost a lot of the guard position. So unless they got some people coming in or transfers, like Foster Loyer probably goes in that team and starts right away.
I think they're going to be nice, dude. He's going to step into Grady's spot as a primary scorer. And they got, I think it's Hung-Jun Lee on the wing, who is like a double-digit scorer right away last year. They got some buckets, dude. I bet Foster averages double digits next year on some pretty good percentages.
Yeah, I'm not buying into that one, but teach his own.
Well, we'll wait and see. And last but not least, maybe least this week, I don't know about this topic. Big Ten schedules released yesterday. Your thoughts?
I think State, just when you're asking my thoughts, I'm assuming you're asking about State. But State's schedule is, it's okay. Like normal average, it's not something I would say is easy. It's not something I would say is hard. I think it's just an average Big Ten schedule. We don't have to travel to Assembly. We don't have to play at Iowa, which I do like. But I think there are some teams in the Big Ten that did get a really, really good, good draw on this one. I think you want to speak to a little bit, G.
Yeah, so my thing is that when you're a fan waiting for the schedules to be released in conference play, oftentimes it's like buying like a $1 lottery ticket. Like the realistic outcome that you should be hoping for is like a $5 win. Or the worst case scenario is you lose your dollar. Like it's not that big of a deal. It's not going to swing things in a crazy way. The problem is that this year, in my honest opinion, Purdue just hit for like $1 million on a $1 lottery ticket here. Like their schedule is so much better than everybody else's. It's wild. And I'm comparing it to the other, what I would consider the other 5 contenders, teams that have been listed in the preseason top 25 ranks, which would be Michigan, Ohio State, Maryland, Michigan State, and I included Illinois in there. I don't know if I should have or not, but Purdue only has to play that group of teams 7 times. 2 of them are against Illinois, which again is that fringy team. Like they get single plays against Maryland, Ohio State, both at home, and then Michigan State once at the Brez. They do have to play Michigan twice, but that's the only good team they have to play twice. Every other team in that group is playing at least 2, if not 3 or 4 of those schools 2 times. I don't get it. I think Michigan State got a pretty good schedule break, but even compared to Purdue's, like it's just totally different. And Purdue's a team to me that I don't believe in. I've been on record saying that they'll be good, not great. They're not going to be a top 5 team in the country like a lot of people are projecting them to be. But like, I don't know how you look at their schedule and don't place a futures bet on them to win the Big Ten, because
they probably heard you in the Big Ten's like, you know what? Let's push this agenda. Let's push this Purdue agenda. Let's make Greg wrong.
I mean, dude, it's like it's like they have a 2-game head start on the conference right now. Like, honestly, I think any team would have to cover 2 games to make up for this schedule, and it's going to be tough. Michigan has a really tough schedule, and I'm not saying that to be bitter, but they get Michigan State twice, Ohio State twice, Purdue twice, Illinois twice.
You have so many dogs. You're good. You're so talented.
They'll be in the mix. I'm not saying it's a death spell. They'll be in the mix, but compare that to what Purdue has. That's a 3-game swing. So we'll see.
Me playing the world's smallest violin.
I'm
Get
not
on the
playing the
court.
violin. I'm just saying.
Get on the court and win games, man. That's what basketball is all about.
I don't think they'll have too much of a problem with that, Cart. We'll find out. Friday, weekend. Any words going into the weekend, Cart?
Drink water, be safe, and I also want to send a personal shout out to my barber. The hands of a world-class surgeon. Got your boy right yesterday. Good taper, good line. He's one of my many heroes in life. My parents, Kevin Durant, LeBron, DeMarcus Cousins, and my barber. Those are the 5. And Drake, honorable mention. So shout out to them. Have a great weekend. Greg, this is always fun. Loving the morning shift. And I want to send it over to you for your last words.
Let's have ourselves a weekend, man. It's been a fun week. Hope you guys are enjoying these starting 5 videos. They've been pretty well received so far from our perspective. Some stuff in the works. I believe I'm recording a new episode of the Spartan Hoops podcast with DK this afternoon. I got a Joey Hauser article that should be dropping sometime next week. You can check out the piece that DK wrote, the first player profile about Marcus Bingham, over on SpartanHoops.com. Carter and I will be back Monday morning, not as chipper as we were today, but we will be back Monday morning on the starting 5 on our channel next week. And other than that, Carter, I'm going to finish listening to this J. Cole album and have myself a Friday.
Why not?
Peace,
Peace.
brother.